February 10, 3:36 p.m., District Court Courtroom number 7. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the tests we had performed earlier.
Tests?
Yes, the tests on the bloody dagger was found stuck in the pine tree.
Oh yeah, that. I totally forgot about it.
That's the weapon that Maya Fey used when she fought with the victim.
So what are the results? Was it the victim's blood or...
Due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was still on this dagger was not the victim's blood. Oh. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial.
And whose blood was it?
Yeah.
So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. And whose was it?
Very intriguing. I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims.
I understand, Your Honor.
From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. Let's finish this quickly.
Yeah, we have at least 3 hours to record this. Agreed.
Very well, please bring in the last witness.
She needs a good old-fashioned nap and about 10 kilos worth of food.
Yes, mostly hamburgers.
Probably.
Oh, there she is. Witness, please tell us your name and profession. Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Wright & Co. Law Offices.
What? I don't recall making you in a manager position.
That's why she's assistant manager.
That's still managerial. Maya.
According to the magazine I have here.
Wait, if that's her profession, do I pay her?
You pay her in hamburgers. You're a spirit medium of the crane channeling technique. I'm frightened. The Fate clan. I don't really want any more to do with it.
Oh, Maya. Paying the Fate bloodline costs must be unbearable.
Very well.
Let's kill Aunt Morgan or whatever her name is.
Now then, Miss Fey, when the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple, and you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Dixon's murder. Is this correct? I didn't see any... Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact.
She barely knew her mother.
But there's something you can do. You can finish this.
Hold on. Maya is 19 now, right? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Her mother's been gone for 17 years.
Yeah, she
So
wouldn't
did
really
Maya
know her.
ever know her mother?
Yeah, technically not. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please. Yes, Your Honor.
Be nice to Maya. She didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, she's gone through a lot of stuff at the moment. I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against a stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" And something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. Something warm? So when you struck on the head? So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been this staff.
Maya, the person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was. Maya, think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. It seems that it will be hard to determine a criminal through their testimony alone. You know, thinking about it, Phoenix, before the cops arrived, was the only guy there. Yeah. Very well then. Well, no, there was another guy. Loris. Oh, that's right. Does he count, though? He seems to be one of the ones who put ladies in danger. Yeah, true. Very well then. Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. Passed into the garden. There was a spare prep room, apparently. Who else was on the inner temple side that night? Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well. On the day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said? Well, let me think. She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired. No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training. Suddenly, somebody struck her over the head. Who did it? Who hit you? Well,
I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind.
You didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was? They were bludgeoned a bit in the pitch black darkness, dude.
Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry. I just can't remember.
Maya's really having a hard time. What should I do? I think we have to push.
Yeah, we have to press.
Come on, Maya. This isn't making sense. Why didn't you see this person?
Well, let me think. It was, oh yeah, that's right. It was Stark, that's it. It was Stark.
I already know this.
It's not good to have too much light around when someone is undergoing spiritual training. Come to think of it, there was an earlier testimony to that effect as well. So it was Stark in the garden on the night of the crime.
Which is why she didn't see her attacker. I thought maybe she was trying to hide something, but guess not.
Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely...
the spirit that was channeled by Elise Dierksnim, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Very well, please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head?
Stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. What happened afterwards?
My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape. I think...
You think?
After he hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around my head at a time. Well now, this is beginning to get interesting.
So what were the two things rolling around in your mind?
My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger. That's how it was, but that's how it was. That's not at all. Your actions understandable, given the circumstances. So, why did you do that? I think I screamed, help me.
You think you screamed, but you're not sure?
Listen, I was a complete wreck.
You still are.
It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man? A woman? An adult? A child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have soiled my ropes.
Brilliant.
I thought this person might attack me, so I... Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that was my last hope.
Wow. Sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details?
What's this last hope?
Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff?
What? What do you mean by your last hope?
No. That's what you said. You said, my last hope.
Huh? What? I said what?
Look, you were facing an attacker that you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me.
Yeah?
But you testified that you screamed that because you thought it was your last hope.
Oh, well, you know, that's like what you call when it happens.
Maya's not doing so well up there.
Oh yeah, oh, that's right. I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at.
What did you say?
Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. Oh. That's who I was screaming for help. Ah!
What is it now?
I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out.
Huh?
Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker there was another person? I am, well, I meant to keep that part a secret. Uh-oh. What have I done? It takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say.
You always say that.
A ton of pressure? You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony.
Okay.
Let's see, a man? That is very specific.
Yeah, a man. Who was this man?
Well, you see, I couldn't see.
You couldn't see? She used this excuse twice now.
Well, you know, lantern light isn't very bright. Lantern light, did you say? There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light when an acolyte is there for training.
Was not lit.
Was not lit, though. Hey, you know what they say, under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person was further away, but not my attacker who was closer. Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time.
This is what we're presenting here, right?
Yeah, it was not
Hold
lit.
on. Okay, I just want to make sure. It's a pretty obvious one, actually.
Yeah.
So, there was a man standing behind your attacker.
Yeah?
That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Dierksnim, otherwise known as Misty Fey, your mother.
The killer?
Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you?
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is still in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony.
Uh-huh. What do you mean? What problem?
Maya, on the night of the crime, the stone lantern was out of commission.
Huh? What?
It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night.
No!
Order in the court. Mr. Godot, explain this.
Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe au lait.
A cafe au lait? Is that even legal?
Oh my god, I just understood what he was trying to say. Oh god. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, Mr. Trite's words are the milk, and you're the spoon, Your Honor.
I'm a spoon? I don't really bought, I'll have you know.
You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now.
Hey, you're the one who didn't want to give her like an entire day to recover.
It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that.
Sorry, but that's not going to cut it.
What did you say?
If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony.
Nick?
May I? Recall the witness's statement about her attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker, and she quite clearly described him as a man. In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw a mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker.
No!
Order. What does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying this face saw the real killer under pitch black conditions?
Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene.
There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark, and now you're trying to cover for him.
Cover for the man that killed her mother?
There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is.
Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. You could talk a good game, right? Let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black, so how could you wait to see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick, don't! Please, stop!
Maya's dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. She was 2 when her mother vanished. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth.
Alright, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Who was this person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness?
I have no idea.
Alright, so, who all do we have? We have Godot, we have Dick, we have Loris, and Edgeworth.
Yeah.
Out of those 4, it's a man. Out of those 4, who did we not see on the first day?
Did we not see Larry? No, we did see Larry, didn't we?
Yeah, Larry was available when Edgeworth was around. Remember, we broke his psycho locks.
That's true. So it's not Larry. It's not Gumshoe.
Is it Edgeworth? Did we see him when we played as Edgeworth?
Edgeworth had not arrived yet.
But remember, they specifically said they would have been trapped all day because the bridge was broken.
That is
true. They
true.
couldn't get across.
Well, but Edward was out of the country, wasn't he?
But we played as him on that first day.
Yeah.
So he was clearly available.
Oh, I have no idea who it could be.
You just narrowed down. You just said 3 of them can't. Who's the last one?
Godot? Why would...
Where was Godot on day 1?
He wasn't there. Why would Godot... What?
Now, here's another question. How would Maya know him and see him in the dark? Can it do anything with his glowing goggles?
Because he has his visors. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Godot did it.
It should be. There's no one else that makes sense. Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible. Yes?
What? But how do you propose to show us something like that?
Turn the lights off, Your Honor. It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night.
Conditions?
Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. Well, that was quick. The judge didn't agree.
This is what it can be.
Oh my god. That was a nice bit of deduction. Right. Why would... Oh my god, I have so many questions.
Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder.
Order, order, order! What is the meaning of this?
Who's giving him coffee still?
Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it?
Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person.
What do you mean by that?
If you've got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night, was it 3 glowing red lights?
Well, witness, ask the question.
Yeah, you're wrong. I never saw that.
Maya!
I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason.
Nope, we can't wait to break her on this one. What?
Witness, Mr. Wright, what the...
Stop your chattering, Your Honor.
Chattering?
If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules.
You got issues, dude.
All right. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but...
That should be fun.
Yeah. Why would it be Godot? When I came to, I was just laying there on the train hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit, and the body was gone. And all the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
So it was after the crime took place and the witness came to think the killer was a man.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No need to apologize. It's as Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume their culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
Okay.
Maya, stop lying. I'll take away lunch. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right?
Yes, I think it happened when the victim was stabbed.
So then the person that carried you into the inner temple.
Could only have been the killer.
That's what I think too.
So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple.
But doesn't that contrast what Mia said?
No, we never knew how Maya got to the inner temple.
Oh, that's true.
We just know Maya lost consciousness and woke up in the inner temple, and then channeled Mia to figure out what to do.
Yeah, okay.
But she went back to the garden. I don't recall that.
Yeah, that is different. I don't think we have any testimony regarding that yet. Yeah, we have nothing regarding that yet.
Yeah. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
I don't know.
Oh shit. It has to be Godot. Because of his lantern. He cleaned up the crime scene.
But he didn't see Maya because he couldn't see it. Oh my god, you're right. Which is why he was shocked when he found out that there was actually something on the lantern. Because he had not planned for that.
Yeah. It looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some more information before I ask her again.
Okay, so that is basically the clue we have to keep, going.
Torches were lit, body gone. So the torches were lit.
Yes, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed.
I'm going to say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be?
The killer probably lit them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body?
That's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would give us anything from that, gain anything from that, would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya.
Very well, let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene.
And all the snow around the lantern has been carefully cleaned up? So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? It did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural looking rectangular shape around the lantern.
Well, there were shovels around the inner temple, but they're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use.
An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away?
Well, there's one thing I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow?
Yeah. The area collapsed and ended up being splattered.
In other words, The killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation.
Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount.
That's true. He could have just scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood.
Also, there are some other mysteries behind this issue.
But I think this will help explain them.
Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. So, you're saying that you never saw the killer, right?
Yes.
But earlier, you very clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker.
Nick, I'm sorry.
Killer certainly went through a lot of trouble, moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. But for what purpose? Why do all that?
Wait.
Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on.
Wait. So if he organized the pendulum, was Iris in on it with Godot?
Apparently, he had her phone number.
Huh. How long was Godot up there?
I mean, we didn't see him for the full first day.
Yeah, and when did he arrive?
I don't know, sometime in the past?
Okay, so where do we present what's wrong here?
I don't know.
We'll go back to the garden place that's only changed. So what are we looking for? It was lit and the body was gone, but all the snow around had to be cleaned up too.
I feel like it has to do with the stone lantern, but I'm just not sure where.
Take the next one. Oh no, that's not gonna be there. It's not gonna be there.
We did do all of this, right?
Yes.
Because there's literally nothing here for a contradiction.
Yeah. Now we got back to the garden. The place changed. Stores were lit. The body was gone. All the snow around the lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. I am not sure what we have to present. Because the torches were lit makes sense because they're not the lantern.
Naturally the killer did it, yeah.
I think so.
But why would they do that? Must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
Oh. The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something.
You did? I hate when they do this.
Yeah, but you have to press again somewhere.
Yeah, we've pressed the whole thing. It's like, what did open up? Why do we have to press again?
Yes, I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me. For my sake.
What? Hiding it for you?
Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden...
She may have thought that you had done it.
No, she definitely would have thought so. You're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I wanted to add that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay.
I think it was for
Nice.
my sake they cleaned it up, and this is where the lantern would come in then.
Yeah.
They didn't clean it off.
Yeah.
I want to see what Maya says. They did it for your sake.
Well, if the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would immediately be the prime suspect, right?
Again, yes.
Yes, I suppose that's true.
Yeah, if that happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. If a real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. Master of Khura'in, killed by her own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it.
But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you?
I think I know why.
Well, we know this is a contradiction, regardless.
Well, I think I know why Godot would do it, but I'm not sure it makes sense though, because Godot is not the man I'm thinking of. Totally not.
Totally not. The body of Elise Dirksen was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then, at the garden, the real scene of the crime. The snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd.
Oh, and what would that be?
You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off that lantern?
Oh my god, that just makes sense too now that I'm thinking about it, because he cannot see red. He had to remove all the snow to be sure.
Yeah.
Because he would not have been able to distinguish what snow was blood. Or at least not very easily.
God, this is all ridiculous.
You're right.
Because if he could just remove the top part and nothing else.
Yeah.
Order, order, order. But it's right. Is it the fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene?
Indeed. But it doesn't make much sense to remove the body and remove the bloody snow, then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing.
But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior?
Yes, he can't see red.
Why would this killer move the body and remove all the snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern?
Because you can't see red.
Yep.
I don't know what the killer's plan was. It's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it.
Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern?
Because
They
the killer
didn't
didn't
notice
notice it. Yeah, he didn't see it.
Prosecutor Godot, earlier in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought.
The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that the crime had occurred. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it.
But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that.
You're right. There is no way any normal person would.
What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright?
There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether.
Who would that be? Who is this person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing?
Godot.
Tim?
Yep.
Mr. Godot, this is what you said yesterday.
My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything.
You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godot?
This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented.
This lantern? There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood. Nonsense.
This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle.
Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before, during the poison case at Trebien.
This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee on.
There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain has smeared all over the apron.
That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. Because it was a bloodstain, it was ketchup, but yeah.
Yeah. You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red.
It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one who can't see them?
So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see red writing on the lantern?
Hey, Gramps. Didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea.
I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer, but there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Kinda. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Dierkstem, also known as Miss Misty Fey.
It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you.
Just make sure you don't fill out the how do you say the word?
Indictment.
Indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How does little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written here and there.
I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red.
This is rich. Do go on, try it.
The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow.
The snow? How so?
Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow?
It's what I said earlier.
Yeah, Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not just take out that area?
Yes, why didn't he just take out that area? Ah, could it be?
Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. And so, he had to remove all that snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area.
Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark?
Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine.
It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot?
No, he cannot.
Wait just a minute.
Maya!
What is it, witness?
Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up. Maya, the can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I may not look it, but After the murder happened, you didn't even exist.
She didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time, because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me.
Maya, you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her.
Nicely done, Wright.
Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at Inner Temple after the murder.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling, and my spirit left me, as it were. But a little Pearlie was there at Inner Temple, too.